It was a regular morning at the Providence Municipal Court. Judge Frank Caprio sat at the bench, calmly reviewing the day's traffic violations. But then, a young woman entered the courtroom, holding a newborn baby in her arms. She didn't look like someone trying to avoid a fine. She looked exhausted, emotional, and quietly determined. "Sarah Thompson, speeding violation," the clerk called out. Sarah stood up and stepped forward, gently rocking her baby. Judge Caprio raised an eyebrow. "Is this baby part of the story?" Sarah nodded softly. "Yes, Your Honor. This is my daughter, Emma. She's exactly 3 weeks old today. And the night I was caught speeding, I was in labor." The courtroom hushed. Judge Caprio glanced at the file. "Says here you were going 70 in a 35-mile-per-hour zone? That's a serious violation. What was happening that night?" Sarah took a breath. Her voice was steady but emotional. "At 3:15 a.m., I woke up with strong contractions. At first, I thought it might be false labor, but then my water broke. The contractions were coming every 2 minutes. We live in Cranston. The hospital is a 25-minute drive. I was scared we wouldn't make it." She explained how her husband Michael rushed her into the car, how she started bleeding heavily, and how the 911 dispatcher told them they couldn't wait for an ambulance. "I was screaming in pain, Your Honor. I honestly thought we might not survive. And then, we saw flashing lights. A police car pulled them over. Officer Martinez approached when he saw Sarah's condition, her cries, the blood, the panic in Michael's voice. He made a snap decision. Instead of a ticket, he gave us an escort. Sirens on, lights flashing, he cleared a path for us all the way to the ER." Judge Caprio nodded. "That's what a good officer does. Think fast. Protect life." "But we didn't even make it inside, Your Honor," Sarah added. "Emma was born in the hospital parking lot, on the asphalt." Officer Martinez helped Michael deliver her. He stayed calm, he saved us." Gasps rose from the courtroom. The judge looked at Emma, peacefully asleep in her mother's arms. Sarah smiled gently. "Emma was born at 4:02 a.m., just 15 minutes after we were pulled over. I don't know what would have happened if Officer Martinez hadn't helped us." Judge Caprio leaned forward. "And yet, you still received a ticket?" Sarah nodded. "He didn't give us one that night. He stayed with us at the hospital. He even came back the next day to check on Emma. But 3 days later, the ticket arrived in the mail. Apparently, he was required to file it because we exceeded the limit by more than 30 miles per hour." Silence again. Judge Caprio thought for a moment. "Ms. Thompson, I need to ask you something, and please be completely honest. If you were in the same situation again, would you make the same decision?" "Without hesitation, yes, Your Honor. Every single time, even knowing the risk of hurting someone else. I would never want anyone else to be harmed. But with the information I had, the urgency, the pain, the bleeding, I truly believed speeding was the safest choice for everyone. I didn't take it lightly." Judge Caprio gave a slow, thoughtful nod. "In all my years on this bench, I've heard every excuse for speeding, lateness, bad traffic, stress. But what you've brought here is not an excuse. It's a real emergency, a human moment." He looked at baby Emma again. "You're not here to say the law shouldn't apply to you. You're asking the court to see the difference between breaking the law and surviving a moment." "Exactly," Sarah whispered. "Ms. Thompson, I'm dismissing the ticket. Not because I think speeding is ever safe, but because your actions that night weren't careless. They were desperate, necessary, and brave." Tears filled Sarah's eyes. "Thank you, Your Honor. But I'm not finished," Caprio added. "I will also be submitting this case to the state legislature. We need better legal provisions for real emergencies. No one delivering a baby on asphalt should be worried about fines." The courtroom erupted into gentle applause. Judge Caprio turned once more to Emma. "Little one, you arrived in this world under pressure and pain, but also under the protection of love, instinct, and compassion. That matters." That morning, a $300 fine was dismissed. A lawmaker was inspired, and a baby's arrival became a story of grace, urgency, and justice that would be remembered for years.